Good morning. It's Saturday. I'm in the office. You know what that means. This Saturday morning hustle. We hustle on Saturday. On Sunday, we come in early. We stay late because that is how you get to that next level. The next big thing does not happen Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Today on the podcast, we're going to talk about Toby Keith. Unfortunately, the country music star recently revealed that he is dealing with stomach cancer. And of course, thoughts and prayers go out to Toby. We know you can beat this. He's a fellow Okie, so someone that I personally have met a few times, and I'm pulling for him like I would for anyone who's dealing with stomach cancer like he is. But Toby has a great song that has a very interesting idea, and we're going to discuss what it means to us, hustlers, grinders, all of us on the Saturday morning hustle, about how we pursue excellence and success. The song is, I may not be good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. A little bit of a tongue twister. It's a little bit of a riddle. We're going to break down today what that means for all of us as we pursue excellence. Life is a continual pursuit of being your best, of excellence, of success. It's not a set point. It's a continual pursuit, a process, something that you don't do one time, but you do over and over again. At the same time, remember, it's not you versus the competition, you versus other people. It's you versus you. It's about being your best and being able to be as good as you once was, or being as good once in a single moment, in a single time, when it's needed, as needed. So everyone has a peak and valley. Everyone has ups and downs. That's part of the process as well. But with great effort, focus, determination, and understanding of how the process works, you can apply yourself as good as you ever were, or as good as you need to be in order to be successful in that situation. So we'll break that down as well. Again, it is not about being your best at all times. It's about being your best when you need to, being as good as you need to be when necessary, and then rising to the occasion if necessary once as I ever was. So this is the pursuit, again, not a set point, but pursuit of success. So right off the top, life is a continual pursuit of being your best. Now this is, of course, for those of us who are hustlers and grinders, that we're invested in the idea of continually being better, to being our best, to working towards GOAT status, right? Greatest of all time. Whether you achieve that status or not, because there can only be one greatest of all time, and it depends on who you are or what you're doing, obviously. I probably will never be the best at professional athletics or chess or nuclear engineering. Nothing I'm pursuing myself. I am attempting to be the best at a podcaster, as a social media influencer, as a strategic planning consultant, which is what I do for my day job. When I am working on art or furniture or other pursuits like that, I am trying to be my best at that as well, understanding I'm not going to achieve GOAT status, but working towards it. That process of working towards it is the key, because that's how you continually improve yourself, continually get better. So the things that you put together in order to make yourself as good as you can be, your best, are skills, experience, education, and then the practice of them. As you develop skills, the first time you shoot a basket, the first time that you put pen to paper, the first time you record a podcast, you're not going to be the best. You need to get the experience and the skills that come with it. The skills combined with experience is practice. Same thing with education. Just because you read a book one time, just because you learn a lesson one time, you have to put it into practice. You have to apply it. You have to understand how it works in the real world, how it works for you, how it works situationally, make the adjustments and changes necessary, and then gain expertise from all of this. The skills, experience, and education only becomes expertise through practice. You have to apply it on a regular basis, understand how it works for you, understand how it works situationally, and understand there's not a one-size-fits-all. It's not something you're going to do the same way every single time. But having expertise means you know enough about it that you can sort of apply as much as possible and then move forward in the adjustments necessary for each situation. So this is how you continually achieve your best, how you continually get better at what it is you do, how you try to become successful, how you can be as good as you can be. But now you have to understand this discussion is not about you versus the competition. It's not about you being better or good at a higher level, because gooder isn't a word, right? So good at a higher level is better. Better is the extension of good. It's not about you being better than others. It's not about you competing with others. It's absolutely not about you knocking other people out of the opportunity or tearing their building down in order to build your building up. It is about you versus you getting better every day, you achieving better than your best yesterday, today. So not as good as you once was, but not as good as I once was, but as good enough once. I know it's a tongue twister, but applying yourself situationally. So getting better all the time. And then when necessary, when you have to step up, when you have to apply, when you have the opportunity to prove that you are the best, you can do that because you're as good once as you ever were, because you have built up expertise, skills, experience, education, and you've put it into practice. And it's not about taking down the competition. It's not about outmaneuvering the competition. It's not about beating other people. It's about making yourself the best version of you today. And that could be the very best because you are in the pursuit of that excellence, that expertise. You're passionately moving that forward. You're driving that process and you're peaking right now, today. That makes you your best. But 5 or 10 years from now, you may be able to recall that experience, the skills, the education, that expertise that you've continued to practice and refine. And again, good as I once was ever. That's how you apply it now, tomorrow, 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years from now in a continual pursuit. Also understand everyone, not just you, not just me, all of us have peaks and valleys. We have ups and we have downs. There are limitations, whether it's physical, psychological, geographical, otherwise, to how high your peak can be in any given thing. You may be great at the thing you do, but maybe not the greatest of all time, maybe not the GOAT. There's always a peak level where that's as good as you're going to get no matter how much you practice, no matter how much expertise you create. There's a level you're going to reach. But here's the good news. That is a peak at that particular thing, whatever that thing is, whatever that pursuit is. There are other things that support that are surrounded by that go into that process as their elements and the smaller pieces of the thing you're pursuing. You can continually get better at them as well, which then moves your peak up. So there are peaks. You do have to accept that, embrace that, and trying to work past them, through them, and improving all of the peripherals, all the things that come with it, can make your peak even higher or even more successful. So understand how to push your peaks. Don't get comfortable at the peak. Don't get comfortable at the top. Don't get comfortable with I'm good enough, but continually pushing. It's not as important that you do push through the top of your peak to beat your personal best every single time, but the idea, the attitude, and the process of attempting to do so will get you where you need to be. So don't focus so much on, am I breaking my personal record today, but am I in pursuit of my personal record? Am I attempting to do better today than I was yesterday? Am I taking one step higher? Am I going further up that peak than I have been before? If you're pursuing it, you're putting it into practice, you're applying all this to what you're doing, you'll achieve success, and you will always have all of this effort underneath you. You'll have this experience. You will have the expertise that you could recall later. So you can be as good as you can be. Someday you won't be as good as you were, but good as you once were now. Because it's once and now. It's future and it's present. It's how you move forward. With great effort, you can achieve previous standards of success. You can go back to the peak when you were doing the best, when you were in it, when you were working it, when you achieved the greatest thing, the championship, the success, the client, whatever it was that you achieved, you can go back to it. You can maintain it. You can recall it. You can utilize it to move you at a higher peak somewhere else in something different. You can build upon it through continual effort, through continual development of yourself, continual improvement, you versus you getting better every day, and then being able to recall these things, because you don't get so focused on reaching the personal peak every single day, but moving towards it, always achieving at the highest level you can. It's not about reaching the summit, but it's moving towards it. It's always going for it and bringing along all the things that come with that, all the lessons, all the expertise that comes with it as well. It's the Mamba mentality. You know the guy, Kobe Bryant. Peace to Kobe Bryant. Kobe was constantly, continually improving himself. He was in the conversation. He's always been in the conversation for possibly one of the greatest NBA players of all time, was still pushing himself, practicing, was in the gym hours before everyone else, hours after everyone else, was in the gym first thing before anyone else on the day he retired from the NBA. That's the continual pursuit and process of success. That's the Mamba mentality, but it's also what Toby Keith is telling us in his song as well. If you work smart, continual learning, an attitude of continual improvement, an attitude of you getting better, and you versus you, not you versus the competition, of having curiosity, of being open-minded, of being open to collaboration, of learning from other people. If you always are doing this and understanding, again, the process of shooting for your highest goal, not always having to achieve it, but always working towards it and then learning the lessons that come with it, then you're working smart. If you're then willing to work hard, focused effort to meet or exceed your previous best, if you are doing that, if you are putting the effort in, and I believe you want to, that's why you're listening to this podcast, that's why you are a Saturday morning hustler, whatever it is, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a side hustler, in the pursuit of your career path, as an artist, musician, a self-brand, whatever it is you're trying to achieve, whatever nuggets I can give you on this podcast today, understand the Mamba mentality, the way Toby Keith breaks it down, work smart and then work hard to always be trying to make yourself better than the day you were before. If you can do that, your path to success becomes very obvious and very manageable. So almost your best is often better than most. Now, listen to how I'm saying this, because there's another way of saying it that doesn't quite work. Almost your best, that pursuit of your peak, trying to get there. Even if you don't achieve that peak, but you're almost your best, 90%, 98%, 80%, 99.9% is most often better than who you're competing with. It puts you in the position to be successful. Striving towards it, getting there, almost there, right there, will put you in the position to win. And it's win versus you and win against the competition. This is why you don't need to focus on the competition, because your process of getting better and doing your best, achieving your best or almost best every single time, will put you in the best position to win versus any external factor. But you have to say it this way: almost your best is better than most, because you're working smart, you're working hard, you're doing all the things that Kobe and Toby Keith are telling us to do, right? If you're doing that, you're going to win as often as you can, and you'll be successful as often as possible. More no's than yeses, we know that conversation. But it will be in the best position to be successful. But you cannot think of it as almost your best is good enough. Explain. Good enough is when you allow yourself to stop and accept a lesser outcome. If you work towards your best all day, every time, and come up close, slightly short, almost there, practically there, maybe slightly past it, you're in the best position to be successful. If you allow yourself to stop at good enough, you're not making yourself better, thus in the future having something else you can build off of. If you stop at good enough, you won't make a new personal record. You won't create a new peak. You won't create a different level of success for yourself at good enough. Now, there has to be balance here as well. There's time, there's budget, there's effort, there's all kinds of things that go into what you need to do to achieve what it is you're achieving. If you achieve it on the timetable with the budget allotted, all the other factors that go into this is where you have to stop, because this is the stopping place, you'll be successful. If you think about it attitudinally as just doing enough, just good enough, you'll stop short and you won't have yourself in the best position to be successful. So always thinking of almost your best is better than most, because you're putting the effort in, because you're working smart, working hard, you're outworking the competition, all the things we talk about on this podcast, but not almost your best is good enough. It's ending on a high note, not ending on a negative. So keep that positive attitude and you will push past everyone else and put yourself in the best position to be successful. Because again, being best, being successful, being your personal best, personal record, personal peaks, personal highs, all of these things are not a fixed point. It's not a skill level, 100, 500, 6,000, 950, whatever it is. It's not level 7, level 52, master level, PhD level. All of the things, the MVP, the GOAT, all of these things are ideas to move towards, not fixed points. Fixed points do not have satisfaction, because when you gain them, then what do you do? And then you fall back on, well, good enough, or I was great yesterday, or I was the best there ever was 2 weeks ago, and don't have to continue to move on. Someone else will then come along and be the best because they continue to push. So don't look for fixed points, look for processes, look for pursuit, look for all the things that come with you being your best every time you can. Almost your best is better than most. Continue to improve that. And then you'll enjoy the side effects of your effort, of your expertise, of working smart and working hard. The side effects are success, all the things that come with that, the job, the client, the money, the opportunities that come with success are side effects of your hard work, of your focused efforts, of your working smart and working hard. Fulfillment, personal fulfillment. It's not about beating the competition. It's about being better for yourself. As you get better for yourself, you will feel that personally. Even if you achieve your best and you don't win the game, you don't win the contest, you don't gain the client, you don't achieve the thing you were going for, you still have the personal fulfillment of achieving your best and understanding you can build upon that again tomorrow and again in the future. So personal satisfaction, fulfillment, and success are the side effects of pursuit of excellence, of always pushing yourself forward. Focus on the journey, focus on the process, focus on learning, and on growing yourself as a person, as a professional, as someone in a field, someone with skill sets, someone with expertise. Going right back to the top, you need skills, you need experience, you need education to put them into practice in order to build expertise. If you focus on that process, if you focus on your lifelong journey of always learning, of always getting better, of personal best, you will achieve the success and all the things that come with it as a side effect, not as the focus. If you're doing these things just for the money, just to win, just to do better than others, then you're going to miss the mark because your focus is wrong. Again, focus on the journey, focus on the process, continual learning, and growing yourself as a person, as a professional, as an expert with expertise. If you can do these things, you will find success. You will manage that success. You will feel fulfilled, and you will feel the personal satisfaction that comes with it. So once again, thank you, Toby Keith, for the song, the motivation for the conversation today. Thank you, Kobe Bryant, as well, for giving us the Mamba mentality. We're going to apply it to our pursuits on the Saturday morning hustle, because it's Saturday. We're in the office. We're hustling. We're Saturday morning hustling. Guys, we're grinders. We're rise and grind. We are the people who are doing the thing internally, keeping the attitude right, and continually pursuing excellence. Success is the side effect. Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. Make sure you stream, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review, share with a friend. We really appreciate it. Get your Saturday morning hustle, Entrepreneur AF, and Coffee and Donuts swag. Got the new Coffee and Donuts coffee mug going on. Speaking of swag, I got my t-shirt from my guy, Nick at NL Moving hooked me up with a t-shirt. They just upgraded their branding and reinvesting in his company, in the branding, in the process, in the swag, the gear for his guys, for his clients. Threw me a t-shirt. I dig it. It's a cool t-shirt. So big shout out to you, Nick, if you're on the podcast. I know you listen. I know you pay attention. I appreciate you throw me the swag this way. So you guys check out NL Moving online if you need to move anything in the Oklahoma City area. Also, make sure you check out, subscribe, and are listening to the Saturday Morning Hustle podcast each and every week. Follow us on social media as well, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, the Facebook fan page. Don't miss a single episode of the bonus series too, Professional Balance, the bonus series that we put out the last Monday of every month. Current episode, Marketing or Product Failure, which do you need to adjust and where is the balance? It's a really good episode. Check it out if you haven't listened to it yet. All the past episodes, all the information, all the swag, all the links to everything is at SaturdayMorningHustle.com. So go check it out. It's Saturday. I'm in the office. This is the Saturday Morning Hustle. Anyone willing to come in early, stay late, hustle on the weekend to be successful. You got to earn it. You're doing it. Am I paying attention to the advice I give you each and every week here on the podcast? Appreciate you guys so much. One more time, prayers for Toby Keith. You can beat this cancer thing. Appreciate everyone out there. If you're going through something medically or otherwise that's a rough time right now, I'm thinking and praying for you as well. So appreciate you guys. Talk to you next week.
Saturday Morning Hustle. Saturday Morning Hustle. Saturday Morning Hustle. Wake up and keep chasing.